Aloha and welcome to this video on the Taurus full moon that is coming up on November 5th at 3:19 a.m. Hawaii time. This is not your run-of-the-mill Taurus full moon. There is some lively, zesty energy at play. We are going to look at the astrology, the galactic alignments, the medical astrology, the Sabian symbol, some messages, and just kind of see where it goes, what's wanting to come through. So, thank you so much for being here with me today. Maybe you're on a walk, maybe you are with a cozy cup of tea, of coffee, of cacao. I have my cacao right here, and that really is like part of the cozy vibe of this Taurus full moon. And then we have this very like energetic go and take a hike, go and take a bike ride, go and take a nice long walk or a run, move the energy through your body, and then like go and make your favorite meal and be cozy at home. There's quite a mix of energy. So we will get started with the medical astrology as usual. So important. How do we embody the astrology? How do we embody and work with this energy? The moon, of course, is the distributor of the life force energy, and the moon's life force energy is flowing into the Taurus regions of our body, which is roughly this region here. It's like the lower head, the mandible, the lower teeth, the neck, the thyroid gland. And so those areas of our body can use some extra nurturance at this time. I'm just going to read from Medical Astrology in Action by Judith Hill. Wonderful book on medical astrology transits. So, Taurus is a Venus ruled sign. It's an earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign. So, this is a very stable moon. The sign holds and generates comfortable warmth. Taurus is neither dry nor cold. Most earth signs are on the colder side. This sign is relaxed, sensual, and affectionate. At this time, body fluids and electromagnetic energies pull readily to the throat, ears, neck, lower brain, lower jaw, tongue, mouth, trachea, upper esophagus, thyroid, teeth, mandible, and cervical vertebra. Mucus is prone to build in the ears, nose, and throat. And so there can be infections of the ear, nose, throat, clogs, impactions, that kind of thing, extra earwax. Taurus fixes form. It's the most magnetic sign, warm and slow, very stabilizing this full moon. In in part of its aspect, in part of its energy, there's this thread of slowness and stability. But as we'll see, there's a lot of zing and zang too. Taurus's influence is grounding, stabilizing. It calms, pleasant, relaxing, magnetizing, beautifying, aphrodisiac, sensual, anxiety relieving. It enhances the senses, strengthens, neutralifies, concentrates, builds, swells, and pulls. It can be impaction prone, masses, pressure, or toxins, and can produce obstructions. Anodyne, so pain relieving. Gourmand's moon, enjoying that food, enjoying the appetite. Food tastes better and appetites are strong, so you can do better eating a more rich kind of a meal. So, if possible, you want to avoid surgery to that Taurus zodiac sign body zone I mentioned, and instead do what you can to nourish the Taurus body zone. So that is our Taurus moon energy. At the same time, we have Mars in Sagittarius. And I just wanted to read a little bit about that. Mars is entering Sagittarius on November 4th at 3 a.m. Hawaii time, so just before this full moon. Mars and Sag can be like too much life force energy, can be hyperactive, manic, panic, paralysis, dry lung, pain in or injury to lower spinal nerves, hips, thighs, femurs, other Sagittarian body parts, injuries incurred from horses, dogs, driving, sports, risky behavior, firearms, or arrows. It stimulates the neuromuscular system. Natally, Mars and Sag can be linked to strong hips and thighs, athleticism, good runners, overactive motor nerves, addiction to uppers, so all the stimulants, the caffeine, excessive male sexual desire, sciatica, hyperthyroid, Graves' disease, insomnia, and just being too full of life force energy. So that is some of what we are dealing with medically and physically. So slowing down, tending to your body at the same time, if you're feeling that current of energy really strong, go for a walk, go for a hike, a bike ride, whatever kind of sports you like to do. So here we are, the chart of the Taurus full moon. As I said, prior to the full moon, Mars will enter Sagittarius November 4th. The full moon is November 5th. The day after the full moon, Venus will be entering the sign of Scorpio. And Venus is extra important at the time of this full moon because she is the ruler or the planetary guide of Taurus zodiac sign. So she will be in Libra, the other sign that she rules at the time of this full moon. But the very next day, she's entering Scorpio. November 7th, Uranus has been moving retrograde in Gemini, and it's going to back into Taurus, another Venus-ruled sign. On November 9th, Mercury is going to station retrograde at 6 degrees, Sagittarius 51 minutes. And then a couple days later, November 11th, Jupiter is going to station retrograde at 25 degrees Cancer. And then the next day, Mercury is going to conjoin Mars, and both of them will be in Sagittarius at that time, 6 degrees, 4 minutes. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means that on the one hand, this is our pause, this is our realization full moon, this is coming into greater awareness, clarity. It's an opportunity, Taurus, to slow down, to be still, to tap into patience. This Mars Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius can kind of like, want it now, now, now. Uranus is also at that very first degree of Gemini, about to back into Taurus. This is a very fast electrical energy. And at the time of this full moon, Uranus and Mars are in opposition to one another. So we have this patience, stillness, depth. Venus is about to enter Scorpio. The sun is already in Scorpio. Venus is also about to exactly conjoin Haumea, dwarf planet having to do with fertility, rebirth. She's the Hawaiian goddess of fertility and shapeshifter energy. Beautiful symbol for new earth and new paradigm, and really like evolving into all that we can be as a humanity in communion with the earth, in communion with the elements, in communion with nature and our true nature as well. So we have this increasing depth, this detoxification and regeneration coming through Haumea, coming through that sun in Scorpio, coming through Venus about to enter the sign of Scorpio. So on a very physical body level, there is this detoxification and purging energy inherent, baked into Scorpio. And our next new moon will be in Scorpio. And as the sun is in Scorpio, this is part of that transformation, regeneration. There is the detoxification, the purification, the letting go. So any way you can lean into that, support your body in that practice. I know I've ordered some parasite cleansing herbs to support my body in releasing anything that no longer serves my highest good physically. Scorpio rules the colon and the excretion, the reproductive organs as well. So it is a wonderful time to eliminate, to do something like a parasite cleanse if that's safe for you and resonates for you. I'm not a medical doctor. I am trained as a holistic integrative nutrition health coach, and I study medical astrology and practice medical astrology. So I'm sharing from that point of view, and from the point of view of this is something I'm literally physically doing. I've done parasite cleanses in the past, and like this is like the full moon. This is like, it does not get much better than this for something like a parasite cleanse or an herbal cleanse. So, and if that's just like very, unappealing to you, no worries. At the same time, there is this Venusian swell of magnetism, attraction, manifestation. She's at that almost last degree of Libra. She's in her sign. The moon in Taurus is exalted in Taurus, and Taurus is Venus's sign. So there's this, love and pleasure and beauty and sensuality and color and creativity and divine feminine and feeling in communion with the arts and with nature and the earth and perhaps the waters as well. So there is this really deep and powerful connection. And this is being magnified to Venus is separating from a square to Jupiter. Jupiter as a planet expands everything it touches, and Jupiter is in the moon sign at the time of this full moon as well. So there is this amplified lunar feminine water, earth, beauty, arts, pleasure, comfort energy flowing through this lunation as well. The attraction, the manifestation, as Venus and Haumea are around the degrees of the zodiac that align with Shapley Attractor, which is like this, really has shown herself to me as this universal great grandmother, divine feminine energy, the source origin of the known universe, full of so much power and magnetism and attraction and creation and the mysteries of the true nature of reality, the true nature of source, the true nature of the divine. So Venus, this planet of magnetism and attraction, you're really about to make this contact with Shapley, Haumea holding that alignment with Shapley as she's a much slower moving, orbiting body in our solar system. There is this sense here too that yes, the manifestation energy is there. There may be some instantaneous or immediate manifestation, but there also may be more of this ritualized process of manifestation, attraction, magnetism as Venus is about to enter the sign of Scorpio, of course, where the sun already is. And Scorpio, this sign that is so ritual, it's so metaphysical, it's so spiritual, it's so deep, transformational, alchemical. So there is, if we can like purify our desires and we can really be those clear channels, those vessels for higher forms of manifestation than maybe we ever have been before. So that's very, very beautiful. And that is present as well at the time of this full moon. This other stream of energy, mentally and physically angsty, walk it out. This is Mars and Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius, adventures and truth calling, metaphysical adventures, spiritual adventures, and also those really physical like hiking, sports, athleticism, ultra running, something like that is all very much Mars, Mercury, Sagittarius. At the same time, there can be angry communication, debate, very opinionated kinds of discourse and dialogue. So just to be aware of that too. And this is being amplified by that opposition to Uranus. So we may see that in bigger ways. There may be things that are brought up. This can be sacred rage. Again, there's this seismic impulse to break free of that which has been restrictive, constrictive, old, outdated, old paradigm, patriarchal, power over, just belief systems, thought forms, information systems, truth systems, media systems that are outdated and outmoded. So there really is this sense of breaking free. And with Uranus opposite Mars too, we have this literal physical seismic energy, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, cyclones, all of these types of things, Mother Gaia's energies being very, very highlighted, being very powerful, being very strong. And this also will be true to some extent as Uranus is backing up into Taurus, the zodiac sign of fixed earth connected to the earth and the earth's kundalini energy changing and rising and strengthening and going through her own sacred process of awakening and ascension and rebirth here. So to be aware of that, to embody that peace, to embody that stillness, to embody patience, relaxation, nervous system soothing, walk it out, move it through your body, and to just be really, really mindful of that and like slowing down, stopping, taking some extra deep breaths and regulating your nervous system feels very, very important here as well. Mars, Mercury highlighting the stars of Centaurus constellation linked to Chiron, the healer, teacher, mentor, guide, Alpha Centauri star, the alpha star of Centaurus constellation. Mercury here with the Hyades, and then Uranus, of course, also highlighting the Pleiades and Alpha Centauri by opposition. And so this is bringing in that Hyadian, Pleiadian, galactic energy, truth coming to light. This is such like a truth coming to light type of an aspect. And Mercury will also oppose Uranus again as well as it moves retrograde. So what truths are coming to light within you? What awarenesses, what awakening, in what ways are you wanting to be physically liberated, mentally liberated, and feeling more of that freedom energy flowing through your life, that awakening energy flowing through your life here? In what ways are you being called to let go and release and purge and also like bring in and manifest and attract? Sun, Moon will be highlighting the stars of A Crux in Crux constellation and Almach in Andromeda constellation. Almach is very connected to the elementals, all the different magical creatures and dragons and fairies and these beautiful realms, very connected to nature and beautiful natural environments and other planets and other star systems. The sun with A Crux is really, this is one of the stars of the ancient mysteries, the Southern Cross constellation, that is not a South Pole star, but a very important navigation star within the Southern Hemisphere, very visible in the Southern Hemisphere. Sometimes here in Hawaii, I can see it. But very, very mysterious star, very connected to the ancient mystery schools within this galaxy and a lot of original spiritual and mystery school teachings seated within this galaxy. So there's definitely strong psychic, intuitive, mediumistic energies at the time of this full moon, that connection to nature, the connection to the galactic, lots of light codes coming through, and perhaps even like ascension symptoms, physical types of symptoms that will need attention and tender love and care at this time. Hyades is a star system I see in strong in like medical intuition and, physical health and healing. And so to just be mindful of your body, tending to your body as we receive, the light of all these stars and the planets and the comets in our solar system and Three Eye Atlas and all of the Earth's Kundalini energies rising at this time, the galactic light codes. How can you come into harmony, Venus, with all of these light codes that are coming in and are waking up our own evolutionary energy and impulse? And we're going to have lots of time to integrate and digest and kind of slow down with Venus entering Scorpio, Uranus returning into the sign of Taurus for one last time these next few months, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. There's a lot of inward energy that is coming through where we can make these shifts, these changes, these adjustments, these calibrations to, all of these high frequency stars that the planets are aligning to at the time of the full moon. So very beautiful, very powerful, very, very potent energy. This is the Sabian symbol of the moon, 14 Taurus by Dane Rudger. On the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. Keynote, returning to simpler joys for revitalization. And the key theme is to live and let live. So, in what ways can you be like a child, have some fun, be playful, keep it light, connect in with nature and with the daily pleasures and comforts and the natural beauty in your environment, being satisfied and content with what is, and really being in the present moment as well, like tuning out any drama, trauma, excessive noise, and storylines that may be activated by that Uranus in Gemini opposite Mars, Mercury in Sag. How can you just kind of, it's not my problem, like it's not my problem. Let me focus on what I can control. Let me focus on my health, my well-being, my job, my career, my family, my home, my community, and really keep yourself in your lane and tune into like what is working in your lane, in your realm, in your world, and in your reality, and let any kind of like discordant realities not be a distraction or suck you in or be a kind of energy vampire type of a situation. That can be one of the lower vibrational expressions of Scorpio energy, like a literal parasite or energy vampire type of situation. So let the energy vampire situations go and focus on what you want to create, manifest. Because remembering Venus, final degrees of Libra, Haumea, both of them aligning to Shapley, we have a lot of this attraction power. And so focus on what you want to create, what the solutions are. Scorpio 14 is the degree and the Sabian symbol here for the sun. So telephone linemen at work installing new connections, the need to establish new channels of communication, and the key theme here, the will to association or comprehension. So this is highlighting too, I feel, the Uranus, Mars, Mercury. It's like opening those channels of communications, the communities, the families of frequencies, the associations that feel new and good and right and truthful and aligned for you, and letting go, purging, purifying any of those associations that no longer feel good, whether those are socially, whether those are also, the internal belief systems and thought forms and mental frameworks and structures and inner types of communication that are then manifesting externally, socially, and at that relational level here. So there's new insights, new connections, human to human, but I'm also getting, this is Scorpio. This is, beyond the veil. This is those unseen communications and connections as well. This is the galactic communications and connections as well. So taking some time to tune into what spirit guides and spiritual support team, what other energies beyond what is physically observable are you connecting into, and that can be beneficial and helpful. Scorpio, remember, very mystical, spiritual, intuitive, connected zodiac sign. And so to know that there's an opportunity to have that direct line of communication with whatever non-physical energy you are wishing to connect into. And likewise, to be mindful of your energy so you're not connected into energies that you don't want to be connected into at the same time. So that purging, that purification, that detoxification, that discernment is really, really important here. And so I think that is where I'm going to leave our Taurus full moon reading. And I really wish you all the best. I will be hosting the Distant Reiki Share, Astrology and Reiki Share on November 19th. The plan is to do so at 4:30 p.m. Hawaii time. I will be in India, so there is a chance that it won't work out, and I will let everybody know if that is the case. But the plan is to come together for the Scorpio new moon. And again, if not, I will let everybody know who signs up. And for sure, I will be hosting a free astrology and Reiki share for the Sagittarius new moon, and that will be on December 19th. So you can sign up for either of those events, taylornorrisreiki.com. I also offer one-on-one galactic astrology soul readings and Reiki Journeys sessions, and you can learn more about those services on my website as well. I'm wishing you a very, very beautiful, blessed, abundant Taurus full moon. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.